Marketing starts before ads, before social media, before you start an email list. It starts with whether or not your readers trust you or not. And this is why it's so important that you have a professional approach. You need to start thinking about yourself as an author brand right from scratch. But what does this actually mean? This means that you need to have a professional author website with your author name, where you have a headshot of yourself and your portfolio of books, because this will be indexed into search engines, into AI, and everywhere where readers can search about you and find you. And that's why you need to look professional here. Another thing you can do to be more professional is to claim your author page on Goodreads. Why should you do this, you wonder? Well, this way you can actually be a part of the conversation about your books. You can have Goodreads giveaways. You can add books that are coming soon, so that people can actually add the book to their TBR before it's launched. This is also a great way to see whether or not your ARC readers have left a review or not. Be a professional, but also be a part of the reading community. Goodreads is probably the best social media for us as readers, because this is the place only dedicated to books. I put all the books I read in there. I leave reviews. I am a part of the conversations about the books. And I also get a feel for what is trending right now. What do the readers want, which is great for me, because I want to be an author long term, so I need to understand what the surrounding book landscape is like. Another thing I think you should do is to create a social media profile. Whether or not you plan to use it is up to you, but have one with your author name that is a professional account that is dedicated to you as an author and you and your books. Don't just have a personal account where you post random stuff, because that will not seem professional to someone who's curious about you that doesn't already know you. And this is what you're trying to create when you're building a brand. A brand is all about what people think about you who doesn't already know you. So what is the image that they have of you despite not knowing you? And the way that you create this image is with these external sources. So you who are watching this, you have a picture of who I am, probably without knowing me, based on the fact that you watch my YouTube channel. Maybe you've read one of my books, I don't know. But this is what an author brand is. Last but not least, a big part of your author brand and whether or not readers will trust you is if your book covers look professionally made. This is something I think that we should all try to take seriously, because yes, as readers, we do judge a book by its cover. I've had instances when I really wanted to read a book and I've ended up buying the ebook because the cover of the printed version didn't live up to the genre expectation and wasn't, good looking enough to land in my bookcase. So I think it's super important, because a lot of us want to read a lot of books, but if the cover is professional and lives up to the expectations I as a reader have to the genre, that's even better. So make sure that you have a professional author brand, because this is what will make or break it for a reader. They will decide whether or not you're a real author based on your brand. Number 2 is the fact that you should create an email list. This is the only true audience that you actually own, because algorithms change. You might get locked out of your social media account, and if you have people's email addresses, you can still reach them wherever you are, whatever is going on. And this will be so important for you in the long run when you launch new books, new series, and stuff like that. If you continuously talk to your audience, it doesn't have to be that often even, but if you send an email every now and then, they will warm up to you, which means that once you have a new book coming out, they will probably buy it. An email list will let you launch books without begging for attention. You will sell even more books without having to spend money on ads. And it builds a long-term loyalty with your readers. So this is very much not about spamming people. It's about building relationships with readers who already said yes to you. And if you know nothing else about marketing, if you don't feel like being on social media, do this one thing and thank me later. Number 3 is the fact that you should be building a backlist. One book is very fragile, but if you have a backlist of 10 books, this will actually create momentum, because chances are that readers will find one of your books, and if they like that book, they will read all of your books, or at least all the books in that series or within that genre if you're writing multiple genres. And with every new book that you release, chances are that the reader who sees that will actually go back and read the other books that you have. So I can't emphasize enough the fact that you should create series. And with this, like in the reading landscape right now, we have ebooks, we have audiobooks, we have physical books. And I think that having series and having a lot of books can actually help with readers who love to binge. So, there are readers who will listen to 10 audiobooks in a row from the same author because they just love that author, and they know that they like the previous book, and they know that they want the same thing again, but with a different twist. It's like buying your favorite candy all over again. So think about this and try to make space in your life so that you're able to write as much as possible, because this is how we long-term build an author career. And if you missed the video where I talked about the 2025 Indie Author Survey, that one actually shows the fact that building a backlist made indie authors make more money. I will link the video in the description box so that you can go back and check it out. There are a lot of learnings in that video. Number 4 is all about social proof. Readers trust other readers a lot more than they will trust you. This is why it's so important for you to have an ARC team when you release a book, or make sure that you get reviews on your books. Testimonials really, really matter. And if you haven't done it before, you can actually go back and offer free ebooks to potential readers so that you get reviews, because this way people who are curious about your book, they can see that it actually is worth them spending a few hours reading your book. So make sure that your book has reviews, and put the time and effort in to make sure that you have social proof. Social proof is a psychological sort of trigger. Yeah, it's sometimes even underestimated by some writers. So don't miss this step. To be successful in the long run when it comes to social proof, try to make sure that you have some reviews when you launch your book. So try to get ARC readers to read your book, and make sure that there's a trickle of reviews over time, because if people continuously are reading it, that's great. And always, always, always ask for honest feedback. Sometimes on my social media, I will post a review that I like, and I will just thank people for giving the book a review. And this is a good way to remind other readers that has read my book that they also should read a review, that they also should leave a review. So do that every now and then, and people will actually show up. This is also something that you can leverage in your newsletter. A few months after launch, you can post about the fact that you love getting reviews from them if they've read the book. So don't be afraid to ask readers for reviews. Number 5 is the fact that you need to find a marketing strategy that is tailored for you. What do I mean by this? Personally, I love social media. I love being on camera. I love talking to you guys like this. I love being on podcasts. I'm a fairly extroverted person, and this means that, posting on social media is not very hard for me. I also work in marketing, so it's very easy. I already know how to batch create. I know how to schedule. doesn't take that much effort for me to come up with ideas even. So that for me is a great marketing strategy. This is something I can leverage to market my authorship and my upcoming books. But if you're not like me, maybe you prefer to talk but don't want to show your face, then maybe you do faceless content on social media, or maybe you start a podcast or find podcasts that you can be a guest in. Maybe you just have a blog on your website, or just focus on your newsletter. Think about where your strengths are, or if you don't know where they are, experiment and find out. And, tailor a strategy around that, because what works for me may not work for you, and you need to find what works for you. This is why I talk about different things on my channel. This is why I invite guests to my podcast, so that they can share a different perspective than the one that I already have. Because if you don't find what works for you, chances are that you will get burnout, because writing is hard, marketing can be hard, and on top of that, most of us have a day job, most of us have a family, and there's a lot to do. And this is why you should try and find something that doesn't take too much effort and energy. And number 6 actually fits into what I just talked about. You need to make sure to adapt something called a growth mindset, because becoming successful as an author, that's not winning the lottery. It's something that you work on continuously all the time. This is what I mean if you don't know where you're, how you're going to market yourself, then say, okay, I don't know if I will think social media will be fun, or podcasting, or whatever it is. So I'm going to try. I've never done this before, so I'll probably be good at it. Think like that. Be open-minded and experiment. Try something and then go back, look at the data and evaluate it over a period of time. I know authors that has tried posting every day on social media for a month, only to realize that that did not move the needle when it came to sales. The fact that maybe for them, the thing that actually moved the needle is a continuous publishing schedule. If they actually manage to write a book every, 3 to 4 months, that's what actually moves the needle for them. But for other authors, going viral on social media is what will make their author success. So you don't know what will be the thing that clicks for you, and I don't know either. This is why you need to have a growth mindset. Be curious, be open-minded, and most importantly of all, don't be afraid of failure. Because what do we do when we fall? We get right back up again. We learn from it and get right back up again. So remember this, because it's super important, and something I tell a lot of the people that I coach when it comes to social media and marketing is the fact that no one is going to see that video you posted that wasn't good. So if you're afraid of showing your face and you finally do it and you're like, oh no, the video isn't perfect, doesn't matter. If the algorithms don't think that the video is good, or if people aren't engaging in your video at an early stage when it's out for a so-called trial run, people won't see it because the algorithms won't push it. So if people actually like it, the content will get pushed out. Think of it like this. Every failed launch, every weak ad, every low-selling book, that is data that you've collected and learned from. That is what a growth mindset is. And you as an author, you need to test, adjust, and improve again and again and again. This is how we grow. This is what a marketing mindset is. Authors who quit early, they are the ones that take the results personally. They stop experimenting, and they probably stop publishing books. So growth mindset will keep you in the game for a long run. And if you keep on showing up, keep on writing more books, Think of Dan Brown. It was not until his 4th book that he actually broke through. You don't know if it's your 20th book or if it's your 7th. Keep trying, keep going. Number 7 is a non-negotiable one. This is the fact that you need to know your genre. You need to know what the genre expectations are, what your reader wants from it. Is meet cute something that has to be in the genre that you write? Then put it in the book, because otherwise you won't see the results you're looking for. I promise you. I've seen quite a few authors who think that their book is going to be something special. They're not writing a specific genre. They're just doing it super artsy, and then they become really disappointed when they get a bad review. But why did they get the bad review? Well, probably because the cover signaled the fact that it was going to be a one genre, but it wasn't. Or maybe the reader thought they were going to feel something that they didn't. You know, the more you read within the same genre you're writing, the more you learn about the genre expectations, the better your books will be. And the more people will love your stories. And the more people will love your stories, more of them will write reviews on Goodreads. They will talk about your books. And this is how we create momentum all the time. Your genre will tell the reader, you know, what kind of stories they're getting, how they will feel, how the book will end. And genre knowledge is... And knowing your genre is usually not limiting. It's the opposite. This is like, the better you know your genre and the expectations the reader have, the more fun you can have with it, the more you can experiment. So do your homework, get to know your genre, and see how that affects your author career in the long run. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you learned a lot. I sure did when I did the research for this episode, and I will be back very soon with more tips on how you can write and accelerate your author career.